everyone, it's Autumn. Today I wanted to go ahead and do a luxury beauty haul. This is gonna be a long one. I have a mimosa here, so if you want, go ahead and grab a drink and then come back and kind of chat with me. Also, I read every comment and I usually respond to all of them. So if you have any thoughts or suggestions, go ahead and leave those in the comment section and we're gonna get started. All right, so I wanna start out by saying that this is pretty much everything that I have picked up since my last haul video. And if you're curious about that one, I think I did like a fall sort of haul and it's like right here. So this is essentially all the stuff that I've picked up through the Black Friday sales and the Sephora VIB sale. And I keep a running list on my phone of products and brands that I wanna try, and usually when they go on sale, that's the time for me to pick them up if I want multiple items. So there's a lot of stuff here. Some of the stuff I have already tried, and as I discuss it, if I have tried it and I've done a video on it, I again will leave it linked up here for you. So I already started filming this video about a week ago, even before all the stuff came in, because I wanted to go ahead and put it away in my makeup collection and start using some of it. But then I went back and I looked at the footage because I was just gonna film the second half and stick them together. And when I went and I looked at the footage, I realized that I was wearing like this comfy sort of t-shirt that was like off to the side and my bra was showing the whole time. And I don't know what the deal is or if you guys have this problem too, but I'm a bigger girl. I'm like 5'10". I wear a size 14 in clothes, and it seems like when they make larger clothes, I guess they just assume that your neck is also huge. And the necks on all my t-shirts and stuff like that, they always fall to the side and my bra is always showing. This happened to me recently when I went to get a new military ID, and now it is like stuck for eternity. My bra strap showing until it's time for me to renew my ID, and it's embarrassing. Every time somebody looks at it because they have to ID me, they see my bra strap. So I put everything right here in this, which it's gotten really heavy, and that's why it is time for me to go ahead and film this video. By the way, this huge makeup bag is an Allie Glines makeup bag. She is a YouTuber here. I will have everything linked below if you want to check it out, but she makes like these makeup bag like travel systems, and I've been using them for Army and all kinds of stuff, and they're great. So anyway, there's still some stuff that I'm expecting in the mail that I've ordered forever ago. Shipping has been crazy, but I'll kind of get through that as I'm talking about each brand and each product. All right, so this is big and in the way, so I'm just gonna go ahead and grab it. This is from Merit Beauty, and I haven't tried anything from Merit Beauty, and I really wanted to try them. So I picked this up through Sephora, and it's like this little kit that has a cheek balm. I think, what do they call this? It's just their cheek color. This is the shade in Raspberry Beret. And then I got their lip color, which I believe is, yeah, it's a tinted lip oil in Marrakesh. And then also a little mini of their mascara. So I got that, and then I decided, I'm like, hey, I have those sorts of products. I'm gonna check out their website, which they were having a sale on their website. And so I picked up a few more items, but those haven't arrived in the mail. I'll just have it here on the screen what else I picked up. And when those come in, I am planning on doing a full face kind of video and just trying out the products and talking about them, in which I've done several over the last couple weeks of full face, like trying out sorts of videos. And I feel like those are kind of fun to watch when you're first trying out a product, but they're not really that informative because you really don't know how well the products perform. I do plan on, after doing like the first impressions full face videos, on revisiting the products and doing more in-depth reviews on individual products that I think people may be curious about. So recently I did a video where I get the Kosas Take Home the Site kit. I think that's what it's called. But anyway, you can get a kit from Kosas for $35 that has essentially all of the products that they sell on their website. And the cool thing about the kit is it allows you to try everything before committing and buying anything. And then they also give you a $35 credit in your email after you buy it to where you can go and choose an item or whatever. You just get $35 off. So it's like you get that kit for free, which it's an amazing deal. So after that, there were some products I was curious about that I didn't really get a good feel for on the kit, and then some I really enjoyed on the kit that I picked up. The two I didn't get a good feel for was the lip oil, which I'm always a sucker for a good lip oil. I'm more of a gloss sort of balm sort of person. So I always enjoy a good lip oil. And then I also wanted to try their tinted face oil because moisturizing makeup is kind of my jam. Although today my face is like a desert. I was sitting here putting this on and then I realized, I looked in the mirror and it was like, I look super dry. At least for me, I look dry. So I probably should have moisturized more under my makeup today. So then also I got their lip balm. I really enjoy the lip balm. It has a slight, it's actually pretty minty, in which typically I don't like minty lip balms. But for some reason I enjoyed this one, so I picked it up. It's actually got a very narrow sort of applicator, which I wasn't expecting. It's okay, but like, it's not really my favorite kind of applicator. And then I picked up their blush in Longitude 0. So it's like a blush and highlight duo. Although the highlight in here, there, is a little bit deeper of a highlight. It's kind of like a pink leaning, if you can kind of see that. So really it's a blush topper, but both of these together are just beautiful and glowy and natural looking, and I've really been enjoying this. And then also I did pick up the bronzer, and the reason I really liked the blush and the bronzer is when I did that video and I went to the gym and I tried things out, typically blushes and bronzers, if you use like a powder one, or sometimes even with moisturizing cream blushes, when you start sweating at the gym, it just kind of like rolls down the face and leaves streaks. These two didn't do that. Like I would sweat and my makeup actually stayed in place and was one with the skin. So I went ahead and I picked up the full sizes. What I will say about the bronzer, it smells. It smells like Play-Doh. And it's like a plasticky sort of Play-Doh smell, which I know it's not the container. It 100% is the bronzer itself. So if that is something that bothers you, you may want to be a little bit wary of that. Okay, so I kind of lost my mind recently when it came to Tom Ford products. They're all really pricey, and Macy's was having a deal like 20% off, 15-20% off, something like that. And so I got a lot of these through Macy at a slight discount. I mean, they're still super expensive even with the discount, but I'm gonna show you everything I picked up from Tom Ford. So one thing I went to the counter and I got in person just because I wanted to make sure I got the right shade. So the first thing I picked up is their Glow Bronzer. And this is actually the mini size, which is still like $70, but then I had the discount. It ended up being 50 something. I have it on today. So if you think my bronzer looks nice, it's actually this. This is a nice little size, but I'm definitely gonna have to use every single bit of this to feel like I got my money's worth because it is so pricey. But the packaging is beautiful and it reminds me a lot of the Marc Jacobs packaging. It's like that super flat packaging. And then I also picked up a blush, and I think that they might have changed their blush formula recently. I've had Tom Ford on my list for so long that I had shades in blush that no longer existed, at least that I could find online. So I got this, and this is the shade Explicit Flush. And their blushes are now like a duo situation. I'm cracking up because I painted my nails specifically for the video, by the way, because my nails were chipping and they looked awful. And I got the skin around the edges and I couldn't get it off. Normally I just shower and it comes off, but I showered and then painted my nails today. So sorry about that. But anyway, I picked this up and it is like right on this side, it's kind of like I would say a peachy tan. And then over here, it's more of a brighter sort of peach. So I think, oops, oh my gosh, well, the packaging's sturdy. I just like slammed it down on my desk. Have some more champagne on them. All right, so then the next item I got is their shade in Illuminate. And I was trying to figure out if I wanted to get the 01, which I did end up getting, or they do have a lighter shade. And I thought the lighter shade would probably be perfect for me right now, but I thought I could just go ahead and blend this out a little bit better, and I would be fine for now, because I also want to be able to use these products in the winter months. And I noticed that I go through kind of these phases with buying and not buying, and I will buy everything for that particular season, and just like thinking about what I currently need at that time. And then I'll go like 6 months and then I'll have to buy like a whole new slew of things because nothing matches me. And I've also noticed that I even go through, like, this is probably my biggest buying phase that I've been in probably 10 years. But probably about every 4 to 5 years, I completely clean up my makeup collection, which I did this year. I went through and I got rid of like 75% of my collection. And then I go in and I restock it and I buy a ton of stuff, and I need to stop doing that and just kind of buy as I need, so that not only I can do like current reviews here on my channel, but then also to where I'm not like just getting rid of everything at once. Like, I need to be able to like use my products and all that good stuff. So I realized a lot about my buying habits probably over the last month, and it's a little bit uncomfy. All right, so the next Tom Ford thing I got is this Skin Illuminating Powder Duo. So it's very similar to the other shade in Illuminate, only this is the powder version. And I thought this was gonna be more like bronzery, but instead it's a beautiful sheer highlight. And so they're both essentially highlights on here. They do have one that leans a little bit more pink. This one's like a beige champagne highlight. Oh my gosh, in the summer, if I can move my hand around, probably, there we go. In the summer, that's gonna be gorgeous. So then the last thing I got, this has been on my to buy list since this was a limited edition product. So Tom Ford came out with this in Nude Dip, and it was limited edition when they first came out with it, and then it was like gone and I was sad, and then they came back in with it part of the permanent range. So I have that. So I do plan on obviously doing a Tom Ford video. And then also I picked up a foundation. So I was out with my friend Amy, who is here on YouTube under Savor Salvage Scent. She typically does perfume videos and they're wonderful. And she just kind of talks about a lot of the backgrounds and the noses behind the perfumes. Unlike me, who smells a perfume and kind of gives like a really weird, semi-creepy description of what it smells like to me. But anyway, I was with her when I picked this up. We went to the Tom Ford counter to sniff a couple perfumes, and I knew that I wanted a foundation, and I ended up getting this in 1.4 Bone. And I also want to try the stick foundation, but I was talking to the lady at the counter and she was telling me how the stick foundations are more for like professional makeup and contour and things like that, in which I know better. But it really seemed like she was trying to talk me out of it. So I don't know if she saw my makeup that day. It's like, there's no way you can figure out how to apply it or what the deal was. But I did end up going with this one, which is more of like, I think, yeah, a soft matte foundation, which is perfect because most of my foundations are glowy. So it would be nice to have at least one matte foundation in my collection. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is from Samantha Ravndal's brand. She, again, is a YouTuber. Any of the YouTubers I talk about, whether they're people I actually know or people I'm buying from their brand, I will have them linked below just in case you haven't heard of them. But if you're watching my channel, I'm pretty sure you've heard of all these people. Anyway, this is her brand where she came out with these beautiful products. I think she had some eye products, like some duos that were similar to the Tom Ford eyeshadow duos. And then she also came out with these, which are their Glow Lust, and they're radiant luminizers, and they come with the pump and they're beautiful. I've purchased one other shade, but again, I purchased it in the summer, and it was even a little bit deep for me in the summer, but I was like looking at the colors and I couldn't decide online which shade I needed. And it also seems like it would be really good for olive skin tones. So I picked it up for the summer, and then now it's just way too deep for me. So I picked up the next shade down, which is the shade Selenite, which this is more of a peachy sort of color, but I think it would still work beautiful on my skin. Like, where else would I put it? Like, do I have to say on my skin? Oh geez, Autumn. Okay, so there's a little pump of it, and you can use this a multitude of ways. You can use it over your makeup, under your makeup, mix it with your foundation. And I find this very similar to the Becca liquid luminizers. I think I have some here in my drawer. Yeah, where is it? The Shimmering Skin Perfector Liquid. I find it very similar to that, only this is thicker, and I would say almost like more moisturizing than this. And this almost feels like skincare to me, or just kind of like a gel oil based thing to where, I don't know, it just adds beautiful glow. I don't know, that's all I have to say. She probably has a better description on here. Yeah, it just says highlight, smooth, hydrate. So I feel like this is a higher quality version than the Becca. I think the Becca though was really great for mixing in and doing stuff, and it's a thinner formula, so I still really like the Becca, but unfortunately Becca is no longer a brand, so I'm glad somebody else came out with something that I like that's similar. So I spent a stupid amount of money on Victoria Beckham Beauty. That's another brand that's been on my list, and there was a bit of a sale probably about a week ago called the bestsellers sale or whatever, and I ended up spending a lot of money on her website. Her products are very expensive for what they are, which again, I haven't tried any of this yet. I've just looked at it and then got my grubby little fingerprints all over it. So this first thing here is a little eyeshadow quad, and this is in the shade Signature. And I can't stress to you how tiny this is. So this is my hand. I mean, compared to my cell phone, or even compared to a Tom Ford Compact, if you were curious. I mean, it's small. This is even smaller, I would say, than a playing card. Like, if you know what a playing card is. Anyway, look, I'm gonna describe a playing card to you. So anyway, I got this because I wanted to really try the brand. I don't have all the items here. There's still some that are going to be arriving in the mail, but I'll put the other stuff on the screen here. But I'll show you what I have so far. So I have that in Signature, and then I also picked up the same thing in the shade Tweed, which these are super warm shades. Look how beautiful. I think just mixing them, they're gonna be beautiful. But the thing is, there wasn't really like a lighter sort of highlight shade in here. So I felt like if I wanted to do like a full eye, I had to get more than one. And that is why I picked up Signature, because I feel like the shades were lighter here. But then even looking at it next to my skin, none of these shades are really highlighty. So I don't know. I haven't played around with them at all. I was kind of saving them to do the video, so we'll kind of see. I also picked up their bronzing duo, in which what I really like about this packaging, it's really heavy. It reminds me of like old-timey makeup, if just like the super beautiful compacts, and this is so well made, and the other ones aren't refillable, but the bronzing one is. And I'm guessing that she made the bronzing one refillable because if you bronze your face every single day, you're eventually gonna go through this compact, and throwing this beautiful packaging out would just be ridiculous. So I really appreciate this. I got the light shade, I think, yeah, 01. So I'm really excited. This is the first time I've touched it. This is them swirled together. It's really light. This is perfect for me now. And then I'll do on either side. So yeah, swirl together the deeper side and then the lighter side. So I think this is probably gonna go in my holiday travel makeup bag. And then I picked up one of the lid lusters, and this is crystal infused eyeshadow. And again, the tortoise packaging, all of it's beautiful. And then I don't know if mine arrived dry or broken, or if that's just the way this formula is, because it does have a little topper that goes on it. But I'll show you and try to be careful so I don't spill. And I think it's broken because that whole thing just shifted. But anyway, it's fine. I think this over the lid on its own or over a shadow, I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. And I was looking for kind of like my skin color sort of eyeshadow that just had like a glossy sort of effect to it. And this might be it. It's so pretty. And then the last thing I got from Victoria Beckham was, or the last thing that I have here that I got, is this Bitten lip tint. And so again, the packaging is super weighty and like you can feel how weighty that is, but it is very weighty, very substantial, beautiful packaging. And this is just like a lip stain. So again, I haven't tried it. I'm excited to try it, but it's beautiful. All right, so I took a quick break to put some of those items away so I would have space to talk about the rest of the stuff. And I realized that I had something in my tooth right here the whole time. Nobody said anything, thanks a lot. And some people sometimes watching my videos, I feel like I bring this up a lot now, but people like watching my videos will be like, stop looking in the monitor. Had I looked in the monitor, I would have seen that huge black thing in my tooth. All right, so moving on, I have really been wanting to try out the brand Rose Ink. So I already did a video on it, again, linked up here if you wanna check it out. But I ended up getting, with my purchase, they had a Black Friday deal going on to where you get this Radiant Reveal Brightening Serum. So I ended up getting this free with purchase, and it might be like my favorite product out of everything. So I'm really happy to have that. Also, I need to start showing stuff with this hand. I mean, this hand is like ate up. Anywho, and then the thing that interested me the most were their cream blushes. Specifically, I wanted the shade Heliotrope. So I first ordered I think just Heliotrope by itself through Sephora. And that was during the VIB sale. I ordered that. It took them forever to ship that along with like some other things. It's like they ignored my order for 2 weeks. They didn't even bother shipping it out. I did not have shipping notifications. And then all of a sudden I got an email of them listing everything that they no longer had in stock, which was really frustrating. Heliotrope being one of those things. So I had already ordered at that point. By the time they told me that they weren't sending me Heliotrope, I had already ordered it, or ordered the rest of the stuff that I wanted to try from Rose Ink themselves. So then I went and I made a second order because they had a deal going to where if you buy a regular blush, you can get a refill, because these are refillable, you can get a refill for free. So I went ahead and I ordered Heliotrope, and then the one I got for free was Dahlia. And when I received Dahlia in the mail, it didn't have Heliotrope with it. They completely just left Heliotrope there and then just mailed me the refill. So then I had to email them and say, hey, I didn't get Heliotrope. And they said that they would eventually mail it to me, so I'm still waiting. So all of that to say, I still don't have Heliotrope. But I do have Dahlia. And then when I did my video, I already did swatches for these three. I have Foxglove, Anemone, and Azalea. So these are all beautiful blushes. They look like fresh on the skin. They're gorgeous. But what I will say is I noticed that I was wearing these multiple days in a row, and I noticed I started getting little tiny pimples on my cheeks. I can't pinpoint and say for sure that I know it's this, but since I've not been wearing these. I've stopped getting the little tiny pimples on my cheeks. So I'm gonna go back in probably a week and try again and see if I have the same thing, and I will keep you guys posted, but just thought I would let you guys know. I also picked up concealer, and again, online it's really hard to match your shade. So I got the shade LX010, and this is too light for me. So I have to mix it with other things. And then also the kit that I got came with, I believe it was Azalea, and then a lip product and a brow product. And the lip product is their lip color that just says in quartz. And I don't think you can buy these separately on the website. I didn't see them. So this might be an exclusive to the kit, or maybe something that's gonna be coming out later. And then of course I just got the brow gel in the clear in the kit. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about these because I noticed one of the lids came off here in my makeup bag. So these are the Westman Atelier Face Trace Contour Stick, and then the Baby Cheeks Blush Stick, and then the Lit Up Highlight Stick. So I got this trio from Sephora because I wanted to try the brand, and they had 3 of the products like this in the mini sizes. And I thought that would be perfect. I have so much makeup, I don't necessarily need the full size products, and if I end up loving these, then I can purchase the full size. Also, these weren't such tiny minis that it felt like I was getting like a free sample. They still have a decent amount of product in them. There's, oops, about dropped it. There's 3 grams of product in each one. What I will say is, because these lids, I don't know if the full size is like this. You guys will have to let me know if you have it. They just kind of fall off. Like, they don't stay on. Okay, it's not coming off that way. But in the makeup bag, this is something that you can't really put in your makeup bag with the expectation of the lid not just like falling off and it going everywhere. I haven't tried any of these yet. I'm still holding off to maybe try in a first impressions kind of video. Like, but then that one sticks on, so, and that one clicks. Let me see. Yeah, it's the black packaging. So I have a feeling that they messed up in manufacturing the mini sizes, because this stays on and clicks like you would expect it to. All right, so now I want to talk about some face palettes that came out for the holiday season. This first one is the second of the Hourglass face palettes for the holiday season. And during my fall haul, these had already come out, and I purchased the other one. I enjoyed that one so much that I then decided to get the other shade, which I feel like this shade, just for me having like swatched it and used it, might be more focused towards possibly tan skin tones, not like super pale like me. I feel like the other one's actually more flattering. So again, this might be something that is gonna work for me better in the summer, but right now it's actually like super deep, and I feel like once I brush those deeper powders all over my face and then I look into the mirror, it's not super flattering. So there's that. Then also I got this Patrick Ta blush palette. And during my fall haul, I picked up the eyeshadow palette from Patrick Ta. And this has 3 shades, cream and powder. And honestly, I just like mixing the shades together. I find that for my skin tone, this bubblegum pink isn't the most flattering on its own. These two, I think, work better for my skin tone, but I can make the bubblegum pink work if I mix it with the other shades. But I'm super happy to have all this stuff. Super grateful. Okay, and then the next item is this Natasha Denona Glam Face Palette. And I was a little bit worried about this because typically you get a face palette and you end up not liking everything in it. I have tried this out on my face, and these are all super flattering and they work really well with my skin tone. I like all of them. The one thing that I wish is that they had made at least the eyeshadows in here magnetized like they do in all of the other palettes, to where I could switch them out. So I can't switch these out, and how cool would it have been to be able, if you're gonna travel, to just pick out your 5 favorite Natasha Denona shades from your other palettes and just kind of make a customized palette each time you go. That would have been really cool for me. These are still super flattering and beautiful, I think, but I think that would have just kind of taken it to the next level for me. All right, so then I also picked up this Charlotte Tilbury Nudegasm face palette. I wasn't gonna get it, and then I decided that I needed to have it, and here we are. So I haven't fully played with this. I think I've dipped my brushes in them and done a little bit, I think when I first got it, but I can't really remember if I have an opinion on it. So I am gonna have to play with it some more, maybe include it in a video. I did buy quite a few Charlotte Tilbury products, so let me get them all out of here and I will talk about them individually. So around the time of the Sephora VIB sale, there were two items that I had on my list from Charlotte Tilbury, and the first one was this cream shadow in Oyster Pearl. And I'll just show it to you here. And I have the cream shadow in Betty, which they've renamed to something else now, but I forget what they've renamed it to. Anyway, I had that and I loved it, and I wanted something like a little lighter and a little bit more cool, and just the whole name Oyster Pearl just sounded perfect to me. So I picked it up, and then I also wanted to get this Flawless Eye Filter Luxury Palette. So, and this is, I think, limited edition. And so I picked this up, and it has like these super beautiful glowy shades in it. I have used them. And the shades are beautiful in here, but when I got this, for some reason, since I had never had any other Charlotte Tilbury makeup other than I have like one of those face look in a palette face things that has like 3 eyeshadows, 2 blushes, a bronzer, and a highlight all in one palette. For some reason, I was expecting the packaging to be nicer. And I think it's because like you can kind of see the gold around the edge. And I was thinking that this, since the prices are up there along with like Chanel and Dior, that the packaging would be as nice. It's not. This is like super like cheap packaging that she's like put gold embellishments on, but this packaging to me is like elevated drugstore packaging. It actually reminds me a lot of the Beauty Pie packaging because it's not quite luxury, but it is definitely, yeah, it's not drugstore, but it's not luxury. It's kind of like in between something. But anyway, the shadows are beautiful, but I was just kind of on the packaging. So I just assumed that all of her palettes were better, and that happened to be like a limited edition one that wasn't as nice. And which I guess it doesn't matter, but a lot of the times I feel like when you're spending that much on makeup, a lot of the experience is the packaging. And that's kind of why the Victoria Beckham, even though it's expensive, I mean, you're gonna have a beautiful experience using it because it feels so luxurious and it feels so nice. So anyway, around Black Friday, I think on Black Friday, there was a sale going on her website where she had several bundles and things like that that you could get. And one of the bundles were her eyeshadow quads. You could get 3 quads for a certain amount of money, which you got a pretty good discount on. I think it ended up being around like 40% off or something like that. So I picked up 3 of the quads that were there. So not all of her quads were listed there, just specific ones. So the 3 that looked the best to me, I went ahead and I picked up. The first one I actually have on my eyes today, and it is the palette in the Golden Goddess. I have really been enjoying this. In which I didn't think I would like the topper shades, which I have it on my eyes today. I'll zoom you in. Oh. So I didn't think I would like the topper shades because I'm not a glitter person, but I think this topper is beautiful. And then the other shades are actually really nice and neutral too, so I really enjoyed this one. And then I also picked up Pillow Talk just because I feel like she has the whole Pillow Talk line. And I am typically somebody who cannot, I cannot wear pink eyeshadows. I don't think they're flattering on me. I have a really hard time with wearing pink eyeshadows. And I thought, if I'm gonna be able to wear a pink eyeshadow of any kind, Pillow Talk is probably gonna be the closest thing I'm gonna get. So I haven't done a full eye using this. I've swatched the colors, but I will play around with this. Possibly do a pink look once I can figure out something that I think looks good on me. And then the last one I got is the Rebel. And apparently this is the second iteration of Rebel and the colors have changed. So I've seen other versions of the Rebel and the greens in it to me are more like blue greens or lean more like teal. And then these are more like olivey jungle greens and gold. So again, I have done an eye look with this and then I went directly to the gym. So it wasn't for anything in particular, but again, I do like the glittery topper shades in this and I think they're super pretty and I typically don't like glittery shades, but aren't those pretty? And here they are in my hand. And I normally don't go for darker eyeshadows or smoky eyes, but this is like something I think I can try out and get on board with. I just rubbed eyeshadow all over my hands. All right, and then the last thing I picked up from the Charlotte Tilbury sale is she had the same thing going to where you could get 3 of the eyes to mesmerize. And so I'd already picked up Oyster Pearl and I already had another shade. So I ended up going with Rose Gold again because I'm trying to make pink work for me, which, spoiler, I've used Rose Gold and this is probably the most flattering pink I have ever put on my eyes. It's so pretty. And then I got Star Gold, which is that, which that's more of like an ambery sort of gold. And then I got the shade Champagne, which is super light, which I thought would just be beautiful as an all over lid shade. All right, so I've already done a video on this. Again, it'll be up here. I've already done a video on it, but I did want to show you all the stuff that I picked up from Rare Beauty, just in case you haven't seen the video, or, you know, if you're sitting there with a calculator trying to tabulate how much money I've spent on beauty products the last couple weeks. How awful would it be? My husband's currently deployed. I can just imagine he finds this video and he's sitting there with a calculator. So anyway, I got the foundation. I picked up the shade 170W, which actually is a pretty good match for me. And then I got the shade 170W in the concealer as well, but in the video, you will see that their concealer shades are all lighter than their foundation shades. And I think that's because it's marketed, why do I pronounce my T's like that? It's marketed as a highlighting concealer. So I think they do that on purpose, thinking that you're wanting to brighten the eye area. For me though, then that means that I cannot use this on anywhere but the eye area. Like I can't use it on blemishes or anything like that because then I'm gonna have like lighter patches all over my face. So I typically just like to have my concealer be the same shade as my foundation. So then I also picked up a blush trio and on the Sephora sale. So I got the blush trio and I've swatched those and I've talked about them. And I do want to talk about how one of the shades in there is called Bliss. And I got it with like a $25 purchase. You can put the codes at Sephora. I got the same blush shade from Sephora when I put in a code several months ago. And I noticed it was really sheer. And then the one that came in the trio wasn't. So I think when I put in that Sephora code, they gave me like, it was a bad batch or something because yeah, this is super watery and sheer. It doesn't look bad, but then compared to the other one, maybe this is the watery one, we'll see. No, yep. If you compare them, first of all, the shades don't even look the same. And yeah, the shades aren't even the same. So how is Sephora gonna give us a sample of that shade? Okay, so when I spread it out, it gets closer in the shade, but you can definitely see this is more pigmented and this is like more patchy and sheer. And I've heard some people say that they find that these blushes are really patchy, and I'm wondering if they've now changed the quality and they were kind of patchy at first. Like, I have no idea what's going on, but there is a notable difference between the two blushes of the same shade. And then I also got the Selena's Favorites kit, which comes with a mascara, a lip product, the highlight, and another one of the blushes. And this one, I believe, yeah, it's the bright one, was in the shade Joy. And again, I try everything in the video and I'm like swatching and playing with it. I do like the line. I would say my favorite items from the line are the foundation and this highlighter. which this highlighter is in the shade Mesmerize if you're curious. All right, so I had to take a quick break to put those products away so I could pull out some more and to also make myself another mimosa. And I probably needed to let my camera cool down because I have all these lights going on in here. And I have a sweater on, and I don't know if it's the mimosa or the lights, but it was feeling like I was about to have a heat stroke. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into the rest of the products. So Dior is one of my favorite makeup brands, and typically, actually they're my favorite because I like their eyeshadow formula, which they've changed their formula a little bit here and there over the years. And it's been hit or miss for me since. So a long time ago, which I'm probably about to like expose myself here, which I got rid of like the ones I used a lot back then, or probably the ones from forever ago. But when they had this packaging, which I think was nicer, where you could see like the CD underneath, I thought this was much like more luxe packaging. And it was thicker, but I have this one in Earth Reflection. So back when this formula was a thing, back in the heyday of like Lisa Eldridge days, she did a lot of makeup tutorials using these because she had talked about how this formula was superior because of, I guess, some of the oils or fats or something like that that they used in it. I forget why, but I was a huge fan. I had tons of these. So there's only a few shades that I have left now that I just cannot get rid of. But anyway, they came out with this year's holiday collection, which I bought last year's holiday, one of the eyeshadow quads from last year's holiday collection, and the formula to me wasn't as good, but I heard that they had switched the formula again, so I bought some. That's a long like story for me just to show you some stuff. I bought 3 items from this year's holiday collection. The first one I haven't used yet. It's beautiful. Look at that. This is House of Dreams. So I can't wait to dig into that and use it. That silver though looks super rich. And then I also picked up the blush from the holiday collection, which I have used and I talked about in a video where I think I was using some products, and I was expecting, I'll just show you. I was expecting this to just kind of have a blue shift to it, like a sheen, not to have full on like glitters throughout it. And this is in the shade 601, which I believe is like hologram or something like that. I'll have everything linked below. And then the other thing from the holiday collection I picked up was this Atelier Doré Quint. And again, these shades are right up my alley, more like bronzy, more like sort of burgundy leaning brown, or it's like a plummy brown, and more taupey shades. So this was more up my alley. And then I was looking on there, and the first thing I picked up before getting any of that was this single eyeshadow, and I've had it for about 2 months now. And it's in the shade Nude Dress. And I was looking for, I think I had it in my mind that I wanted to go back to the type of music. I wanted to go back to the type of makeup that just like simple, effortless, one and done eyeshadow, just the sorts of products that take little to no time to do. And that kind of makes sense because I think I bought this when I was like coming back from Army, and I was still using like this everyday makeup bag, which I need to switch out and do, which I have a video coming up on that. But anyway, oh my gosh, Autumn, get to it. But anyway, this is a nude dress, and I thought that that would be like the perfect kind of like all over the lid shade. And online, it looks a little bit more pink in all of the photos, and I was expecting it to be like a pinky taupe, which it does, I guess, kind of have, but it's more of like a golden taupe than a pinky taupe. It does lean a little bit, kind of have like a blushy feel to it. It's right here, by the way. But the photos make it look way more pink. So I picked that up, and then I also wanted to try their Backstage products. So a long time ago when the Rosy Glow blush first came out, I had that in the original packaging that came with the little brush. And then they got rid of that, and then they had like the more sort of like minimalist packaging, which is similar to this for the Rosy Glow blush. And so I picked that and the coral one up. But around the same time, they came out with these glow face palettes, in which they've had several iterations of them. But I think this was the first one, and I just wanted to try it out and see what I thought of it. In which all these shades are beautiful. I can see how I can mix them and use them as highlight. This is a blush topper. This would be a gorgeous like bronzy eyeshadow. So I just thought it would be perfect. Again, obviously it's like a, yeah, they just call it a face palette, but I feel like you can use it on your eyes too, I'm sure, because I do. So then anyway, I also, once I got the new dress single, I saw that they had a quint by the same name. So I went ahead and I picked up the quint, and I have used it. And as you can tell, my favorite shade in it is this. These, again, remind me of the original, well, probably not original, because I think they've been making the Dior quints like what, since the 80s. It reminded me though of one called Incognito, which was one of my absolute favorites, but I had to declutter it because that sucker was old. I think that was actually my first Dior quint I ever had, was Incognito, and I purchased that probably, I would say 10 years ago, and so obviously it's long gone. I did get 2 more of the lip glows, so these are one of my favorite products. One I recently purchased, I immediately gave away because, again, I wasn't expecting it to be glittery, and it was like the holographic one, and I swiped it on my lips and it was full on glitter. So I sanitized it and gave it to a coworker. But then I picked up this one in the shade Mahogany, which actually reminds me a lot of Clinique's Black Honey. So if you're looking for something slightly more moisturizing than the Black Honey, this is a good option. But if you're wanting something more cost effective, just go with the Black Honey. And then I also got the shade in Beige. So online, when they were showing the shade Beige in their lip glow, again, it looks like a beige sort of like muted, like coral brownie kind of color. This is just a deeper version of the original lip glow. I put it on and my lips are pink. So, let's put it on. And if we wait for a minute or so, like you can already tell I've got pink lips now. So I was not expecting this. I was hoping for something closer to the pictures that they showed online. So I did pick up a few Chanel items. The first one was a repurchase, and I haven't used it yet, but I don't know how much I'm gonna like it because I do know that they reformulated this. So this is the Healthy Glow Bronzing Cream in 390 Soleil Tan Bronze. And now they have this in multiple shades. Originally, when I first bought it, it only came in one shade, but this is that original shade, which obviously looks like it leans a little bit orange, which it did, but on my skin, when I was just trying to tan myself up a little bit and look more alive without going in for a full deep bronze, this was perfect for that. So I'm gonna try it out, see what I think. And then also I wanted to pick up the Vita Lumiere Aqua. And this is their foundation. And again, online, I was thinking the shade I'm gonna use 20 Beige. I haven't used this all over my face yet, but I did swatch it on my hand. And this is a little bit too orange on me. Again, I'm a pale olive. Okay, here we go. So there it is. I'm a pale olive, and this, when I just kind of swatch it out, you can kind of see there, it's a little bit orange, but I'm gonna, oh yeah, and it's deepening there too. So this might be a summer kind of shade for me. I might have to wait till summer to be able to wear it. And then the last thing I picked up from Chanel is this ombre, what is it? Ombre Premier Lac. It's their long wear liquid eyeshadow. And I got the shade Rayon. And again, I was hoping that it would be like this really gorgeous sort of all over, sort of like lid luster, like barely there kind of thing. And you can see the shade is actually what you would expect on my skin tone to be a barely there sort of thing. I haven't worn this on my eyes, I've only swatched it, but it's patchy just swatching it. So here is a like full on swatch, and then I go to move it around I don't know if you can tell. Actually, it doesn't look bad there. But when I swatched it when I first got it, it was really patchy. So I don't know, maybe it's not bad. I'll play around with it, put it on my eyes, see how it wears. All right, so I've really been wanting to try the brand Dear Dahlia. I've been seeing their Instagram and Facebook advertisements for close to a year now, and I never broke down and got them. And then I got a wild hair up my butt. Is that a thing that people say? Like, I feel like I've heard that, but then it just came out of my mouth and it did not feel natural. Okay, anyway, I decided to try the brand and I picked up their foundation in the shade FN3, which actually it was a little bit light, but I believe that this foundation and the whole brand, they kind of lighten the skin a little bit. It's Korean makeup, so that's kind of what their thing is. But I got the foundation and then I got these little tiny face palettes. So they have ones just for eyes, just for cheeks, or a mixture. And the formula of their powder products is actually quite beautiful. It's really sheer, but it blends well. And it's not sheer in a bad way to where like it just blends into nothing. It's just a beautiful sheer formula. So I picked up this one in the shade Caramel Slice. And then I got this one in the shade Lady Oxford, which this one has a blush on one side and then the eyeshadows on the other side. And then I got this one in the shade Secret Rendezvous, which it has a cream blush on one side and then like a blush topper / highlight situation on the other side. I actually really like these products. I think they're flattering, they're really beautiful on my skin, so I really enjoyed them. So in that video, you will have seen that I also bought like these little sampler packs, and there were like 6 colors in each pack, and I think I have probably some floating around in my drawers here because I tossed them all in. But you get like 6 of these little minis of their lip product. I think the lip product is called Paradise Dream Velvet Lip Mousse. So I tried them on. I loved almost all of them. And I was just gonna wait to purchase the full sizes. Actually, my camera's about to die. Be right back. I think I was talking about the Dear Dahlia lip products, their little Paradise Dream Velvet Lip Mousses. Like I mentioned in that video, I tried these little minis out. I ended up really liking them, which surprised me. And also, I should probably stop buying stuff thinking in the back of my mind, I probably won't like it. I mean, it's great to branch out and find things that you do like surprisingly, but also like, who buys stuff already thinking that they're not gonna like it? So anyway, I like those so much, and I was gonna wait to buy the full size, but I was carrying it around in my purse and it was teeny tiny and I couldn't find it, so I decided to just go ahead and order some. I ordered from Neiman Marcus because they happen to have like cash back. I think it was through Rakuten. So I ordered 3 shades, and one of the shades wasn't even in the original sampler, but I saw the shade online and I was like, that's beautiful. So that shade is October. It's this one right here, which this packaging is so pretty. So I'm like burping. So October is like a deepened brownie orangey red sort of color, and I'll just go ahead and put it on because all my other lip colors have come off. Like, look how pretty that is. And I really like that these lip colors, you can kind of get that blurring effect from them. The other shade I got is Seduction, which is the red. So I wanted to get the red shade, and it's a super, super, super bright red. And then the last shade I got is in Guava, which it's like a bright sort of coral. Like, it's like a bright neon pinky coral. So I picked up these and I really like them. I probably will eventually get more, but I'm just gonna hold off for a bit. But I thought that getting these would be like a nice, well-rounded thing. I didn't think to get a nude one, but I also have tons of the little nude ones. So now we're getting down to the more random items that I picked up, to where I didn't buy multiple items from like one company. I did get 2 items from Persona Cosmetics, which again, Persona is a YouTube, she's a YouTuber. I forget her name. Is it Sona Gasparian? I don't know how to say her name. And I will have her linked below. But anyway, she has these blushes, and I had the other 2 shades of blushes, but I didn't have this shade in terracotta. The other 2 were super flattering, and so for some reason in my mind, I was thinking, well, why wouldn't this shade be flattering? I think she's made these shades that work on everyone, which I feel like this will work for me, but it really is a really earthy terracotta. And you have to kind of like plan your whole makeup look around this blush. At least I do. It's not something I can just slap on and it be flattering. The other thing I picked up is the E-Balm in Gratitude, in which I talked about this in a video already where I was trying out some new products. It's super soft. As you can see, the first time I used it, it just kind of like squished everywhere. It really is a colored balm, but you have to be careful because it just goes everywhere. So I'm kind of getting towards the bottom of the barrel in my mascaras, to where I've been going through and I've been trying them and getting some out of, like, I have a backup drawer of different mascaras, and I have some favorite mascaras that I decided to go ahead and repurchase, because I found that when I was going into the drawer and just trying out some new mascaras, I wasn't finding a whole lot that I liked, and then I was like stuck with mascaras that I didn't really care for like 3 months. So my whole thing is, I'm all about trying out these new mascaras, and I will open and try them. If they don't work initially, I will hold on to them for a couple months or so to kind of let them mature. Sometimes mascaras, like when you first open them, don't work, but then if you let them sit for a little bit, then they work really well. So that's kind of the process I'm in right now with a lot of the mascaras. But there are mascaras out there that I know for a fact that I love, so I repurchased a bunch of them. Well, not a bunch, but a few. So this first one that I repurchased is from Pat McGrath, which it's in this container. I'm not gonna open it yet because I don't wanna confuse it with the one I already have open, but I will grab the one that I currently have in my drawer that's on its last leg. So this is what it looks like outside of the packaging, and this is the Pat McGrath Labs Fetishized Mascara. So this mascara gives me the biggest sort of lashes. So if you want like a barely there mascara, this is not it. This really coats onto the lashes and gives me super dark, super big lashes. So if I'm like wanting to make a statement with my eyelashes, this is what I go for, and it's actually super quick and simple. I don't have to keep applying coat after coat after coat after coat. So sometimes with the mascaras that I have to apply multiple coats of, what I'll do is I'll apply a coat of those to separate the lashes and then go over it with this, to where then my lashes are still separated from the initial mascara, but then I have like the volume and the drama from this one. I never hear anybody talk about this mascara, but it's so good. And then the other mascaras I purchased are all Lancome, and I somehow ended up getting 2 of the Definicils Black. This is just a good everyday mascara. And then one of my recent favorites that I've gone through probably a couple of tubes of these in the last year has just been the Lash Idole. And this is such a good mascara. It's one of those that is like the plastic. Well, I think I have another one open in here. So right now I'm working from a little travel like deluxe sample tube. So it has a plastic sort of wand, but it contours to the lashes and it really just pulls through everything to help separate the lashes. So I've really been enjoying it, so I went ahead and I purchased a full size of it. And we're getting to the end of this video. Now I just have like some random stuff. The only drugstore item in here that I have to show you is this little duo from Jason Wu. And the reason I'm including it in this is because the Jason Wu line at Target feels very makeup artistry to me. So it doesn't quite feel like drugstore products. So there's this little duo where you get 2 of the, what are they called? Hot Fluff Love, which it's a 3-in-1 stick. I don't like the name Hot Fluff Love. But you get 2 of them in there, and you can use these on your eyes, your cheeks, and your lips for like a monochromatic look. There's this one that leans a little bit more orange, and this one that leans like a little bit more like rosy or red or burgundy or however. Plum maybe. Anywho, I'll swatch them for you. So there's that one. And then here's the orange one in Apple Pie. What's the shade of this one? Jelly Roll. And then here is Apple Pie. And so I don't know if I'm gonna use either of these on my eyes, but for lips and cheeks, I just love the whole idea, which you can use any lipstick on your cheeks. But I just like the whole idea of these. I think they're super cute. The only other product I have from Jason Wu is the little freckle maker, which I naturally have freckles, and I pretty much just use it to make my freckles look more pronounced after I put on my foundation. I did pick up and repurchase this Lancome Tint Idole Ultra Wear Concealer because I really liked the concealer. It was in my favorites videos a couple of months back, but the shade that I had is now too dark for me. So I got this one in the shade Beige Ochre. It's 095 Ivory or 006 Beige Ochre. So apparently they have different shade names depending on country, because the 095 Ivory is the USA shade. So I'll just kind of show you there. You can kind of see. But anyway, I picked this up. I haven't even opened this one yet. Again, this looks a little bit light for me, but I'm thinking if I mix it with the darker one that I have, yeah, it'll be perfect once mixed with the darker one. I just love this concealer. It's beautiful. And you can use it all over your face. Oh, I did get this from YSL, and this is the Tatouage Couture Velvet Cream Velvet Matte Stain. And I got the shade 212 Rouge Rebel. And again, I was starting to kind of get into the whole idea of wearing red lips. Look at that. And so I picked it up. All right, so I have a couple more blushes to talk about. This first thing, again, was on that whole list that I had. I always wanted to try a Daniel Sandler watercolor cheek product, and my nails. And I picked this one up in the shade Nectar. It's like a light peach, like a very light peach. So here it is. And I'm gonna play around with it and see what kind of look I can get from it. But I have just had this on my list for so long. Like back when Pixie Woo were still making videos, they were talking about these blushes. And at that time, I think they were harder to get in the US. But I saw them online, and I decided to just be good and get one shade and try them out and see what I thought. By the way, Pixie Woo like took down all of their videos, and it kind of like upsets me. I used to fall asleep to them doing their makeup because their voices were just so soothing, and like I really enjoyed their videos. So I'm kind of sad that they took down all of their videos. And then the last things I have to talk about are just random lip products. So YSL made my favorite lip plumper, which they then discontinued it. So, which I still have it, and it's on its last leg. Is it in here, or what did I do with it? It might be in my purse. But anyway, it was the same line as their glossy stains, only it was clear and it was for plumping. They got rid of it. So then I decided that I was going to try out Buxom again, which I had some of their glosses before and I got rid of them. I was like, okay, well maybe now my mind has changed on this. So I picked up some random Buxom shades that I thought would suit me. And again, the pictures online. These are all pretty pale. This first one, actually, I didn't even realize had sparkle in it. It's in the shade Dylan. Look how sparkly that is. I typically don't like sparkle. It irritates my mouth. I haven't even opened this and tried it on. Let's try this on. So I don't know. I'm gonna play around with it and see what I think. The sparkle in this, actually though, if I'm feeling like with my, I can't feel it. Most, like the the Fenty Beauty glosses, which I have one right here. They're gloss bombs or whatever it's called. Irritates my lips, and I keep trying to use it because I don't know why. I don't know why I don't just give it away. Well, I can't give it away. It's a doe foot. That's probably why I still have it, is because I don't want to waste stuff. And when I buy stuff that's in doe foot form and I can't give it away, I hold on to it longer than I should because I would just be throwing it in the trash otherwise. This doesn't seem to be irritating my lips as far as the glitter is concerned. So I did pick up 2 other shades. I got the shade Bellini. Ooh, why am I? These smell good, by the way. They just smell sweet. So this one's a full-on lip cream to where it is going to put a little bit of color behind, but I use them so lightly that I don't think it's gonna wash out my lips too much. And then I got the same thing in Peach Daiquiri. And this one is like very pale. Look how pale that is. Okay, so I'm wiping this away because I have like leftover lipstick from before. So then with the same idea in mind, I found 2 other sorts of plumping products, and I got the Too Faced Lip Injection Lip Balm. And look how light that is. I mean, it's light. And then I also got the Pillow Balm, again, super light. I don't know what I was thinking. And this Pillow Balm, by the way, is in the shade Cocoa Kiss, and it should have been like a dead giveaway by the name, but it smells like chocolate. And for some reason, I hate chocolate lip products or anything that smells like that. I think the regular lip balm, yeah, it's just got a nice, sweet, fruity scent. I did get some straight up lip balms. One looked just interesting to me, so I picked it up, and this is the Balm Gloss by Tinted. And I haven't heard anybody talk about it, but I am obsessed with lip balms. Half of my lip drawer over here is just balms. So I went ahead and I picked that up to try it out. And then also I used to have the Rosebud salves in the tins, and do I still have any in here? No. I got rid of them because obviously when you have the ones in the tins for a long time and you're dipping your fingers in, that's kind of gross. They had the same salves in the squeezy tubes. So I went ahead and I picked up this trio of squeezy tubes that they had. And then I also picked up the Biossance Squaw Lane and Rose Vegan Lip Balm. Oh, where are you? There you are. Okay. And then, so what's on my face right now as far as foundation, I'll show you. I just did a drugstore get ready with me, and I know this isn't drugstore, but like I mentioned in that video, the packaging is drugstore. And I wanted to try it out again to kind of get a feel for it, because I think I am going to come back and do a review. So a ton of people were talking about this specific foundation on TikTok and saying that it's moisturizing, it's great for dry skin. Well, guess what? It's winter here. I have dry skin. But here's the thing, and I did take a close-up photo of my forehead because I don't know if you're gonna see it in here. Let me just get you on up in there. Can you? I don't know if it's gonna focus on my forehead. I'm just gonna hold my head like this and hopefully it does. This collects on skin that you did not know is dry. It's on my forehead looking all dry, and then around my nose. Like, my face looks super dry. And I used a very small amount of this. I didn't use a large, I just kind of patted the Beauty Blender in it and then used that all over my face. And especially around my nose right now, oh my gosh. It looks super dry. So I'm gonna try again and maybe put a squeeze of oil onto that and then swirl my Beauty Blender on it and then apply it with oil. But on its own, they advertise that this is a moisturizing foundation. My face feels so dry right now after using it. So I just wanted to point that out, that even though it's a balm, it's not moisturizing and it's not flattering on dry skin. And then I have some blushes that I picked up. The first one I got when I did the whole Estee Lauder Blockbuster kit, which I've referred to so many videos at this point. They only allow us to link to 4 videos, so I will have it linked below. But I picked this up in order to buy the Blockbuster kit, because you had to buy, I think, like $42 for the product, and then you could, I think it was $42 worth of product you had to buy in order to buy their $75 Blockbuster kit. I'm gonna peel this off. Yeah, because I was sitting there messing with it. Anyway, there was this blush. I've heard nobody talk about it. This is the Pure Color Envy Flatters All Cheek color. So this blush is supposed to be flattering on every skin tone, everything. So look how pretty it is. So I went ahead and I picked it up, and I was thinking about doing a video talking about blushes that are supposed to be flattering on everyone, because there are a few out there. And then also I picked up this Hourglass blush in Sublime Flush. And I picked this up because it has like purple or lilac running through it, but it also has like a bright coral. Look how beautiful that is. And I thought that would be so like brightening on the skin, so I got that. And then also I was reading an article about the makeup used in Bridgerton on the main character. I think her name's Daphne. I'm probably 100% wrong here. I haven't watched Bridgerton since it like came out like a year ago, and they're getting ready to come out with another season. And I always like when they do those period dramas, the minimalistic, barely there sort of makeup. And I heard that the blush that they use on her, which I can't get out of here. Do I need to? There we go. I heard that the blush that they use on her is Lilium by Stila. And I feel like I probably had this blush like 10 years ago, because I used to have almost all of these Stila blushes, and I think I just like decluttered it. So I went ahead and I picked this up, and I may do a video, which I don't have the same skin tone as she does, but I may do a video just redoing the Bridgerton makeup based off the article that I read, and using the products that I have or similar products to it. So anyway, that is everything that I picked up over the last couple of months. And if you guys are wondering, I will not be buying anything else. So anything else that you see in a video that's newer, that's not this, is the stuff I'm still waiting on to come in the mail, which is the other Victoria Beckham products, the Merit products. I think that's it. I think that's all I'm waiting on at this point. Oh, and then the one Rose Ink blush and heliotrope that they forgot to send. Other than that, I'm not going to be purchasing anything else. I'm going to be focusing on what I have and doing videos based around that, and then also probably leaning back into perfume, which again, I'm not going to be buying any perfumes either for quite some time. So I've essentially put myself on a no-buy because this is a lot of stuff, and I find that I go through these cycles where I don't buy anything for a really long period of time. I declutter a ton of stuff that I'm not using or I'm not interested in using, and then I feel like I have nothing, and I just go hog wild and I buy a ton of stuff, which has happened right here, especially over the last couple months. I would say from probably July until now, I have been buying stuff nonstop. So I'm gonna probably give it a break. Maybe for a year, I'll maybe sit and determine, or at least maybe just like buy a couple items when certain things come out that I'm really interested in. I haven't like nailed it down yet, but I do know that this is not happening anymore, at least for a while. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If there's anything that I showed you that you want to see me do in like a get ready with me or a review, please let me know, because I did buy all this stuff just for myself. But I also bought it in the back of my mind thinking that you guys may want to see reviews or videos on it. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye. Yesterday there was sun.